If she kills the president and she becomes president, and then just think about when they start storming, if she just starts blasting all these people's heads, like, oh, it's so good.
So the thing is, you got to think about it like this. And maybe we should actually be recording this now. Well, actually, we're still recording
Yeah, you're still recording.
The reality is the person that told the Deep to kill the VP was Homelander.
Yeah.
Meaning that she and Homelander struck a deal to do that.
I give you your son, you give me the White House.
But that's technically what she was trying to do with Starlight.
Yep.
And Starlight basically told her, like, go pound sand. So
Right.
she went to the
But
next.
again, going to the point with Edgar saying, and I'm also surprised we didn't see Edgar. They couldn't afford him. That's why. No, they spent all the money. They spent all the money on Herogasms. Like, okay, we can't afford this actor. We'll just put him in season 4. But like, no, but the fact that he was in this episode means telling me like, okay, there's still another plan behind all this and stuff. Like he said, because the line keeps saying, play all sides. Like
definitely,
you may end up kind of seeing a split where he teams up with the boys, and then obviously, like, you know, the president will have Homelander, and now, like, the son's smile at the end was just like,
but I don't know what they're gonna do now, because also he got taller. So the first episode they shot probably pre-COVID and everything. Then and then later on you see the kid getting older, but he's already flying. I thought they were gonna make him some type of suit, make him the sidekick or something. Like, I don't know, like superpowers, like what was it from Brightburner?
Brightburn.
Yeah. Brightburn, yeah.
So there's a couple of different things. One, Soldier Boy is still alive. They're keeping him alive. He's gonna get out. They don't know how to kill him. The reality is now that Homelander has his son,
it's over.
And his son basically has turned his back on his source of humanity, which was Butcher, because Butcher kind of betrayed him. He led him right into Homelander. And the sad thing is that what Mother's Milk was concerned about with his daughter and what it would do to her is basically the actual thing that's going on with Homelander with his son. And I mean, because Homelander is so mixed up and messed up, he wasn't in, this boy's life. And now he is. Like, he's going to want to emulate and feel empowered by whatever is giving him comfort. And that comfort is now the most sickest individual alive.
But then, but also that point, because this is the thing that also, like, it's really messed up. It's like, I know Homelander, when he's talking to Soldier Boy, he meant that. He meant it. When he was talking to Ryan, he meant it. Like, I say, I will not leave you. I for sure believe that. I for sure believe that. Regardless of the horrible things he did, like, I believe he will be there for his son.
Yeah, I mean, even when he killed Stormfront, Homelander in blood and all was like, come here, like, come follow me. And instead, the boy went to Butcher. But Butcher betrayed that trust and left him there.
And told him.
Mallory was never going to be somebody that little boy, got warm and fuzzy for. Like, Butcher had the best opportunity of really sculpting this boy to be something completely different. And now, the only thing that'll mess up the boy, honestly, I think that's going to throw him off is when he finds out the truth. When he finds out how he came to be and what actually happened to his mom. Because that's the only thing that they have left as a trump card. Because at this point now, because Butcher's betrayed him and, he's kind of got a taste for blood, so to speak, what he won't want is to disappoint what his mother's memory left.
Right.
And,
yeah.
And it's like, no matter what Homelander says, no matter how much he sugarcoats it, no matter if he gives the kid the world, nothing will ever change the action that he did to bring this boy into the world. And I think that's going to be the thing that's going to mess Ryan up. That's the only thing they got. That's the only thing I could think of to tear him away from Homelander, honestly.
But Amazon already did that with Invincible.
Well, see, no, that was consensual. What happened with Butcher's wife and Homelander was not consensual. That
Are
was.
you talking about in the comics?
No, I'm talking about in this show.
No, Invincible.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just
the
joking.
comic. Yeah, I know you're talking. I know what you're talking about, but like
you kind of have the dad and the son, and once the son gets bigger, he realizes how the dad really is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Ryan's seeing how much of a sociopath and a psychopath he is. The difference is that he doesn't know the initial action because the mom never told him.
Yeah,
the mom always kind of presented like your dad's really strong, but stay away from him. She never told him why. They are in hiding, and that thing, that one why, is just like any kid. Once they find out the real truth, you've lost them. You lost them. And I don't know if that'll be Butcher's dying thing to tell the kid. Like, do you want to know what really happened to my wife? You want to know what really happened to your mom? I'm dying. This is the reality of the situation.
But do you think they'll kill Butcher off this show?
I do, because there has to be some kind of consequence. Like, technically, nobody's died.
Yeah.
In this entire season, nobody is the main. I was
other
sure.
Than Noir.
Yeah.
But it's like Frenchie got shot in the leg, but other than that, like when you truly think about it, like I can see Butcher taking Compound and becoming just a soup.
So this is the thing that I don't think that he's gonna do that, is because that's at this point, now that he's gotten a taste of what that led to, which was him removing himself from Ryan, which is him almost killing Huey. I think he's done with that. I really do.
That's going to be the only way that he can save his son, because that's going to be his will to live now, is to get his son back. And as a parent, you'd do anything.
You do anything. You would do anything.
I can almost see, like, near his deathbed, that, like, what did the doctor say, like 12 to 18 months or something like that?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
basically so this show gonna go up to maybe possibly season 5.
Yeah.
Like no later, no at the most tops.
Yeah, but you see that, and I just think that it's gonna be something where either he'll die trying to, like, get his son to see, like, Homelander for who he is, or he'll take the happy juice, become a soup to eliminate Homelander.
Yeah. So do y'all think that they're gonna use Soldier Boy's body or his blood to try to find a way of just removing a suit's powers? Because the thing is, like, they've come up with Compound V, they've come up with the Compound V alternative, but they haven't come up with the concoction to just remove somebody's powers. And now they've seen evidence of two people that's lost their powers to Soldier Boy. So why not come up with the deterrent? Have something that'll counter the permanent V. Because I feel like that needs to be the next thing to put into play. And that's the only weapon that you could have against any soup in general. And I feel like that would be something that would be an asset to the boys to have to counter whatever they're dealing with. Because now at this point,
they're back too, because he just wants to be in pharmaceuticals.
Yep. You know what? That's probably what Edgar's gonna do. I could see him striking a deal with Mallory again, because remember, the whole thing that went down in the past was Mallory and Edgar.
Yeah.
And now that they've got Soldier Boy back in the States, I could see Edgar being like, I need to see a little bit of his blood. I just want to see a little bit of it. We want to work on some things. And she'd probably be like, unless you're coming up with something that's going to help me out, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, oh, you want a cure for soups? I can help you. Our pharmaceutical company I've just created can do all of that for you.
Yeah.
So, but nah, bro, this episode was freaking insane. That jump was insane. I love what they did with Huey. I love how they rounded him out.
Yeah.
Even down to A-Train. A-Train didn't get a happy ending.
No,
he didn't get a happy ending
absolutely.
at all.
That's why I was like, okay, this one thing. The state of the 7. Now they're at 3.
I don't even look at
Like,
it as 3 because the way that Homelander come off of A-Train,
he's like,
he could easily just have killed him.
I was expecting like, you know what? Noir down. I'm gonna get you too. I'm like, but then I know with the deep, he's just like he's still using the deep. Whatever. I literally thought he was gonna kill everybody in that room. I was like, I'm done. Like, and then Ashley, what they did again, they did the comic book thing with her with the hair and everything. But I thought like, I thought she's okay. That's really the end of her arc. Really, just like okay, she just lose her hair and she go whatever she threw. But with her deleting the video, I'm like, okay, you basically again you just sign your your early grave, and basically I can check if you're lying to me. But also I was like with Black Noir, I'm like I was expecting him to like, okay, I've seen you get cut up and whatever, like everything that, and now I'm like, I don't know where this show's going now. What is their Black Noir moment? Like, oh shoot, like a moment of like surprise at the end at the White House. I'm like, is it the son? Is it it does Soldier Boy? But I'm thinking this is what I'm thinking. I think Soldier Boy gonna die season 4. And then if they do season 5, then they're gonna use something with the boy. But again, at this point, you are so close to the ending. I don't see how, like, I don't see this past season 4. I don't.
So the thing is, I think we gotta. Again, I haven't read the comic, so I can't say yay or nay. But I feel like they're trying to do what The Walking Dead did. I think they're trying to do it better. They're trying to go off the mark, but still try to keep some of the key points of it. Because they don't want to go the route of what they did with Game of Thrones and write themselves into a corner. And they also don't want to just put out fluff for the heck of it to last for 10 or 11 seasons. Yeah. I think that they have a different plan and they're going to try to make it better than whatever the book was. I haven't read the comic book, but everybody that I've heard has told me they didn't like the ending. They didn't like the way that it ended.
No, I didn't like it. That's why I don't want them to do that ending in the show. I don't want them to. I don't think they are. But it's still what they did with terms of happy ending. Like Maeve, like that moment, like literally Maeve was gonna die. Like that was literally how she was gonna, like, in the comics, in terms of how she died. But like, yeah, Homelander killed her, and to block her away from Starlight. And but then I'm like, they didn't do it. They just gave her happy ending off to, and I don't see her returning. I really don't. So, for Maeve, because that was her story. That's like, I'm stopping you. The whole thing with the sword, like how she was training in the beginning of the season. That was how she was fighting him at the end, and then she died. So now I'm like, I don't know where you're gonna go from here.
I give props to Maeve, bro. She made that man bleed. Yeah, she made him bleed. Like she effectively kind of like threw him off for a second. If she would have like continued to push that through his brain, I wonder if she would have actually killed him. Because she thought about it. Because at the time, like, it was still stuck there, and she was about to push down on it, but it was like she had seconds. She had to make a choice to save them or to kill Homelander, and she instead sacrificed herself supposedly. I still don't know what's going to become of the Soldier Boy situation, though, because I feel like he's going to get out, but I feel like they're going to use his body for something. And I think they're going to need his blood to actually make a cure for the soup gene.
Well, the thing that Frenchie was working on, which I think they really didn't get to. I mean, what they did, with the gas thing, but there's another thing of compound V, where it's like how they stop all the soups at the end with this type of like, I forgot this type of weapon that basically takes out the compound V or something. It's like these are only targeted people who have compound V in them, and they target it, then you can use this and you can kill them. Like, but it's like something like genetically linked to the actual Compound V, whoever, which is all the soups, whatever. So that's how they defeat all of them in mass, when they're at the White House. And I think that was something alluding to what Frenchie was talking about.
Well, that might. I mean, if that's the case, I would see that Mallory would let the boys have access to his blood then, because I don't see why.
But that's the next thing they're going to, right? I mean,
but it is interesting because they had the same, I guess, smoke in Maeve's cell.
Oh, that was just knock her out. I think that was just to knock her out.
Yeah, that's how they screwed themselves over because it didn't work.
It's so stupid.
So that wasn't the same type of smoke that they took out Soldier Boy with.
I think they were just trying to gas her. To be honest, okay. I think they were trying to do something different because the way that Frenchie kind of put it, you have to have the right kind of components to make it work.
Yeah,
and nobody did it. But to be fair, I mean, Soldier Boy had been stuck in that state the whole entire time overseas. Man, we might as well just finish this out as a review and be done with it. Yeah, no, it was a great finale. I love what they did with, I'm gonna call her Head Popper, making her the VP and where that's gonna go. But yeah, I'm actually surprisingly happy how everybody's arc turned out. I'm sad for Black Noir. That broke my heart, bro.
Yeah, I'm like,
that done broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the way that they did it, this little critter friend was like, you basically you finished the race.
Yeah,
you've done.
See you with Christ, I guess.
I was just like, jeez.
Yeah,
but I think the sad thing is that Homelander legit. I think he actually was hurt. Like he was conflicted. Like he on one hand like felt like Black Noir came back because he trusted him, but then he felt betrayed because he didn't tell him.
Yeah.
And I don't think he really wanted to kill him, but I mean, the dude's a sociopath. He didn't have to kill him, but he did.
Yeah,
he did. He did at the end of the day, and it was sad, bro. Like that was a sad death. That's a lot for a character that doesn't talk. They did a lot for his character.
Yeah, I think it's just the cartoons that make it so sad. Like you almost see like the little chipmunk like fading away,
fading back. He's like,
yeah, and you're just like, oh man.
Yeah, I might actually release my reaction to that because that broke my heart. I was like, I can't hear this, bro. I took my headphones off.
But here it's like every scene. This is just for me with the show. It's like anytime Homelander walks up to somebody, I'm thinking he's gonna do exactly what he just did, like punch someone in, and he did it, and I'm just waiting for it. I was just waiting for it. Again, it's like that only goes to the show building what they did in terms of as an audience person, like you don't know if he's killed somebody or off screen they just do some random kill, try to for shock value. And I'm saying they can do it, and I'm literally thinking he's gonna sit in a chair and he's gonna laser beam just the Deep, Ashley, A-Train, and just go downstairs. All right, Maeve, where you at? Right. But yeah, I think again, this was it was a good finale, but again, it leaves the things like for people who read the comics is like this is for y'all. Take that comic and burn it and throw it out the window. Like that's really what they did. So I'm happy they did that. Now I don't know what to expect. I have an idea.
I think that's what they're trying to get at, because even the way I was kind of thinking, Soldier Boy, he's gonna, be whatever. But it goes and harpens back to what he told Butcher about his past, like how he wasn't poor or any kind of. He was like, no, I went to prep school. Like my dad didn't approve of me, and then I was kind of like, I'm a volunteer to do this. And he said, you took the quick way out. Like you're pathetic. And it was kind of like, why are they talking about this? And then Homelander legitimately was like, yeah, I killed Black Noir. I don't have any issue with you. Here's your grandson. We cool. I don't have any beef with you. And it's not even me being afraid of you. I'm done. And instead, Soldier Boy, instead of just embracing that, he shows his real colors, and it's like, yeah, nah, man, forget your kid, forget you too. Like, and I was like, and I think if been one thing if Soldier Boy kind of went at him, I think Homelander would have kind of like let it go. But as soon as he hit Ryan, like Homelander wanted to kill Soldier Boy. The fact that Butcher and Homelander are together, I think you predicted that. I think last time that it was going to end up being Butcher and Homelander trying to go at Soldier Boy. That was hilarious. So, but yeah, nah, man, I thought all that was great. Butcher gave Soldier Boy a good run too. Yeah, he held him off for a very long time.
So is Starlight now powered up for some reason? Like,
no, remember she gets her power from like light. So that's why Huey was turning on all the lights to full power.
No, it wasn't that. It's just like now it's like, oh, now she got upgrade where she's like, well, like I can jump, you can fly. Now I'm like, was that like an inside joke of like what happened, or like no, now you can fly now? Like
it could be that she legitimately may be. So this is the way I looked at it. If she's around enough electricity or enough light, then she could probably be able to do it. But I don't think it's like now she retains all that energy. I really don't. But I think it's in a situation if she needs to, she'd be able to. But yeah, I think it was play on words and then also insinuate what she's capable of, which is true. I mean, but yeah, dude, I don't know. Kamiko with the Wolverine Berserker moment.
Yes.
I was like, they can't make her no more Wolverine than that. And she doesn't even say anything. Like, do y'all think that somebody wrote this, that the boys, if you look at seasons 1 through 3, how they are right now, and you compare them to any of the Marvel or DC movies that's been out in the past 3 years, do you feel like the boys are doing a better job than what any of the Marvel or DC films have done in the past 2 to 3 years? Because I feel like it's just different. It's giving me something that I can't foresee where it's going to go. It's giving me stuff that I've always wanted to see superheroes do. It's giving me themes that I feel like neither brand can even try to touch because of branding purposes.
Right. That's the thing.
I think they're doing what Hancock didn't really do. Like you gotta.
It didn't give him a chance. Yeah.
It's like you're showing. You're kind of showing like if someone did have super, like not everyone's gonna be a good hero. Not everyone's gonna be a good guy, you know. And it's kind of neat, you know, that. Like I think about like Venom, like how much better would Venom would have been if it was rated R? You get what, like how much better would some of these movies have been if they were just, you know, like hard killing in it and all that. And I think that's something that with the boys, like it's more of an accurate portrayal. Like in all these, like, you know, like Marvel movies and even DC, like, yeah, people get shot up and killed, but you know, it's just like bloop, they just fall to the ground and that's really it.
There's no ramifications.
Or like I'll say even subject matter. Like for me, one of the most prolific ones was back, like I forgot the old Green Arrow runs where Roy Harper was addicted to cocaine. Or heroin. No, it was heroin. Yeah, and then they can't do that. Like in the in the movies and stuff, or like, hey, they heavily hint or like slowly hinted with Demon in the Bottle for Iron Man 2 of him having alcohol problems, but they didn't go deeper as they could with that storyline. So it's just like that's the thing. They're going things of like what they did in the comics, what we know what they can go, but they can't because of because of the mouse. So it's just like it's
because you think about it, like the only I would say in just about I'm probably gonna go in most of the Marvel movies, the large majority of them, the only one that literally left people speechless was was Infinity War when they did the snap, because everyone was like, "Oh crap!" Like the good guys didn't win.
Yep.
And that's really it. There was really no major. You can pick little moments here and there, but just about every single episode of The Boys has a moment like that. Shoot, this last episode, like that last scene where Homelander just blasts a dude's face off. Like,
Literally.
you don't
Not a dream. It was real.
I agree. It was real. Like
you don't expect that in any Marvel. Like, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that in any like X-Men movie. Like Cyclops ain't gonna like blast someone by mistake and there goes his arm. But you can.
But yeah, but even then, like we had the John Walker moment from Falcon Winter Soldier, which they hinted at, like at least when he was fighting Soldier Boy for a second. But then, like they actually did something similar, but that was as close as you were ever gonna see Marvel do.
Yeah,
a little bit of blood, but cut off, cam, cut away, shaky cam, whatever like that. Not actually like decap. And then like even with the Doctor Strange, oh yeah, we'll cut, throw a shield to cut Peggy Carter or Captain Carter in half. But yeah, you ain't gonna see it, like the actual body falling off.
Captain Marvel, just her hand up and it's like clunk, dead.
Not like, squish, not blood. Like or like the closest, like the worst gruesome death they have done was with Black Bolt. That's the worst one that Marvel has ever done.
Yep.
Other than, ever. So now they're seeing it slowly pushing strides. Like, okay, let's see how we can push this PG-13 if we could. But it's still.
Yeah, this is one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna come and give recognition to somebody. So, most of you guys know this character.
Oh yeah.
Kick-Ass, when Kick-Ass 1 and 2 came out, like we had never seen like superhero violence on this level, and be comical, still comic accurate and comical, since this movie. And what Amazon is doing with The Boys is taking that idea and just running with it. It's a combination of that and, like you said, Jorge, Hancock.
Yeah.
And they picked the perfect comic to do it, and they're doing the same thing with Invincible. The thing that I wish, and I think that Mark Millar, he got a deal with Netflix, I believe, where all of his like series, like Superior, Kick-Ass, even the one that I love, which is Nemesis, they're developing series and movies for those on Netflix. I wish they had sold to Amazon, because the reality is that Jupiter Ascending, or not Jupiter Ascending, Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah.
That was one of the first ones they did with that. And it's not the same. It's not on the same level. It's not even close. And I wish that, this went to something more like Amazon, because Amazon is cooking. And I don't know if you know anything about Nemesis, either one of you guys, but Nemesis basically imagine Batman. Same abilities as Batman, same scope as Batman, but he does not have an issue with killing whatsoever. So it's like a merger of Batman and the Joker, essentially.
Jeez.
And that is Nemesis, and is one of the most deadly characters I had ever seen in comic book. And I think that they're making that a live action movie or show. I can't really remember. They were working on the script like in 2021. But just from what The Boys is able to do, like Amazon just opened up a whole new world. And I'm glad they got Invincible, because I can't wait for the second season.
Which, by the way, hello, like, okay, come on. I know they're shooting it back to back, season 2 and 3, but hey, come on, like.
Well, on that note, look, I think we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed our second review of the night. Believe it or not, we watched episodes. Well, we did a review for episodes 7 and 8 back to back, which is interesting. But yeah, I don't have any issues. I think this is the best season they've done so far. It's either a 9 or a 10 out of 10 for me.
How would you rank the episodes here? Like, what would be like your one? Like, what was it? Herogasm? Is that one still your number one for this release?
Bro, I really don't even know, to be honest with you, because I'm still blown at the fact that in the very first episode, when the first thing you see is a man doing cocaine, stripping down butt naked, getting in another man's penis, sneezing, and then exploding that same man. I like there's so many different things that I mean I would say if I had to rank from from as a whole from a series standpoint,
Yeah.
episode 6 is one of the best episodes of the entire series.
Yeah.
I think this as a finale was dope. I think it's a really great episode. I don't know if it was better than season 2's finale because
Right.
the reality was the intensity of the second season. Like people died. Like people bit it. And not to say that people didn't die in this, but it's just very different. I think that this is a very good episode, though. I think that might be a better finale, but this is a great episode. The whole entire season's just been good, man. I love what they've done with the characters. The characters don't feel like they're just standing in place. They all are moving. And that's hard to do when you got so many different characters. You got villains and you got heroes, and they're all moving at the same time in different places.
And this also is one of the most consistent series I've seen. What I mean by that is like in terms of my level of enjoyment throughout episodes. Like I cannot think of an episode other than season 1 when you didn't even know what was going on. You're still trying to get a feel of this show. But like season 2, season 3, I'm like, what was a filler episode? Like, what's a filler episode? I can say every Disney Plus show from Marvel, there is a filler episode or episodes, plural.
I was gonna say multiples.
Right, I said plural. Right, episodes. DC movies. I can say some like movie like a few movies lackluster, or I can say like Marvel lackluster. But like this was just like I can't say like this show has been consistent, and then no one being Emmy nominated and all this stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah.
Dude, look, I'm gonna say this about Marvel, and y'all please don't crucify me over because DC has definitely done some terrible things, and the recent DC animated slate has been bad,
horrible.
But Phase 4 of Marvel, and I don't technically count Spider-Man outside of Shang-Chi.
Yes. No.
Not one thing. No. I'm hearing great things about Thor, but they always say that about a Marvel movie. So it's like Phase 4, bro. Honestly, I've enjoyed. I can't believe I'm saying this. I've enjoyed the Disney Plus shows more than I've enjoyed the Disney Marvel movies. Films.
Yes,
and that's the first time I can say that in years. And I love both. I love DC. I love Marvel. I love what Fox did. But this Phase 4 has not. I'm trying to even think of one that I actually really cared about.
Not movies like
Shang-Chi was good, but it wasn't even the best.
Yes. It's like Black Widow, Eternals.
So this is the weird thing about Eternals. Like, I could watch Eternals again because I can see where Chloe was attempting to do something very different. And I want to bet you that Marvel's like, yeah, nah, you can't go that far. You got to hold some of that back. Because the way that those deviants were going, and the way some of the things they were doing to deviants, all they really had to do is add like a high-level character like an Asgardian or somebody like that to show the power difference between. It was just so many different things they could have done. Eternals could have been freaking phenomenal, but instead they held it back. They held that joint back. But yeah, that's just me rambling on.
Boys,
it's not worth it.
Now, do you think because this one, because I do agree with you, I think season 2 had a way better cliffhanger type ending where you needed to figure out what happened next.
Mm-hmm.
This one, like, have they renewed The Boys for season 4 already?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's already renewed.
Okay, because like the way it ended, I'm very happy with it and all that. And they closed out a lot of story arcs, like where you could kind of ride to the sunset, and it's like, cool, you're gonna have this like cool little group that's gonna fight Soups and all this, but a lot of the storylines they've kind of closed.
The big one was just the president with Nadia with the being president, and then knowing like to term the completion of like, all right, the son made his choice. He made his choice now, right? So it's not like he was abducted, like he's taking. He's like, no, he made his choice. And then when we look at it, it built up to a point where now it's like he's not a innocent infant anymore. What I mean by that, it's like he's becoming aware. Like, no, you understand why he's making the decisions he's making because he's been treated. Like, I get it. But then also, his lineage where it's tied to abandonment issues, a very low temper, also insecurity, also to a point of having high levels of mania when being put to levels of stress. So again, it's just like, but then seeing that in different stages, it's like, it's very interesting. Now you're seeing that from him. So when a point where he's making all these decisions, he's making these mistakes, i.e. killing his mother, Homelander made the same thing too. Like, well, he didn't have anyone because he made also these mistakes. Like when he's being grown up, like he accidentally killed the babysitters. Like there's videos of this on Amazon they made of him just hugging somebody and they die because he didn't know when to let go.
Yeah.
So just like
so the I think you pose a really great point. Is the way that I thought about that moment when Ryan was smiling at the end. It's not just the fact of him realizing that, oh wow, my dad did that.
I got power.
I'm glad, but he realized that he can get away with that.
Yeah.
Because that's the real thing. And I think that from a show standpoint, they've always held that back as far as Homelander because the public perception. But now the show's gotten to the gravitas that the public perception is okay with like somebody getting executed in that way. Everything's about to change. So that's to me is the biggest cliffhanger. Is that all Ryan has to do is tell his dad, who's this lady that's up here? Like, you're the most powerful being in the world. Why don't you take care? Why don't you lead? And Homelander in himself is like, you letting this child tell you what to do? Of course you should be doing that.
I'm gonna put you in a public school. Some bully push you on the playground. Like it's over.
No. What I'm saying is that, remember, he's been dealing with his own psychosis. His psychosis has been telling him, you need to cut away your humanity. Don't worry about public perception. I think that his psychosis would say, he's right. Why are you letting this boy tell you this? Why aren't you taking action? And I could see him easily betraying Nadia, being like, oh, no, I'm going to be the president. I'm going to be the one in control. I've got an heir behind me, kind of thing. And I think that that's going to push a very interesting arc that if he goes down the route, like you said, of storming the Capitol,
it's
going to be
you got followers
insane. Because again, that's what I'm saying. Once you cut that line that it's okay to just publicly kill somebody without any kind of ramifications of it, because that person didn't do anything illegal. He just executed them. So no due process, no jail time, no crippling. He killed him.
Sound familiar?
For throwing something at him. No, don't start this, Mike. I'm just saying for the show, that to me was the biggest cliffhanger. That's to me is the implications of that.
Yeah.
Is why this is so big to me. Shoot, let alone the fact that Nadia could technically kill Homelander because they put it to the test and he was bleeding from his nose.
I thought that was Starlight that
was Starlight.
But remember when Nadia and him, remember when he had her by the neck, right?
In the barn, yes.
Right. And she walked away and his nose started bleeding. So, I mean, this is the other thing about this season. Up until this season, Homelander's never been hurt, let alone been in a vulnerable state. He's never gotten this much put at him.
Yeah.
And so now, like, who was it? Once a guy can bleed, I forget who was it.
No, once if you can make God bleed, then people will cease to believe in him.
Right.
Yes.
So I think that's the route they're trying to go with. But yeah, dude, I love the series, man. I don't have anything else. I can't believe we did 2 discussions back to back. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. We'll have it on time.
Yeah.
So I guess again, Jedi Mike, where can everybody find you, man?
So you can find me on YouTube at Jedi Mike 7. This was a really good season. Looking forward to season 4. Everything, this again, like I said, this show has just been consistent. There's no filler episode, and the show being very meta. And this is for someone who's staying out very objectively, just watching this. Like, I see what you're doing. I'm calling out what you're doing, and I'm eating it all up. Now how far they can go meta and stuff like that, instead of actually turn on the show, but what this show is. Again, I think this is like only this show can do it. Marvel can't do it. DC can't do it, but this show can do it. So it's like I commend them from taking those risks. But yeah, make sure you guys tune in Jedi Mike 7 on YouTube. Also see me on this platform. Always been a pleasure every time. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. And Jorge, the man with the plan that started this episode 1 through 3. Final thoughts on the season.
This is Amazon has leveled up. That is the nicest way I can put it. They are the only ones who are taking risk, and I think it is paying off. It'll be interesting to see what type of copycats we'll see out here in the next, couple years, because this is Amazon's proving that you can make very R-rated content and it be successful to the masses. But no, I think I'm excited to see where they take season 4. And yeah, whenever season 4 drops or we get any type of hints or anything, I'm sure we'll be back at it doing discussions, because this show's just amazing, like point blank and simple. So as always, keep looking it up.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. I think the thing about this show and this series, it makes me put so much faith behind Amazon to make a great product. Because a lot of times, like, I think I used to have a lot of faith in Netflix and their shows. And I mean, they got some great shows, but I feel like now, based on numbers, like, you kind of feel like they're the new Fox. Like, they could easily get rid of a series very quickly because it doesn't suit like a certain quota or doesn't suit like a certain demographic. And so it's like, when you feel like that, you stop losing faith that they're even going to try. So when you got so many different other streaming services out there, like, I mean, between Apple and Amazon, like, I'm loving the risks that they're taking. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. Can't wait to see what they're going to do with the No Lord of the Rings series, which we're going to be doing discussions on. I can't wait for Invincible season 2, but Westworld, it just started today. So we have a review out right now. By the time you guys see this, we'll probably have like 3. So definitely go and check out all our content. We're going to be reviewing quite a bit, and we're just getting done with Tribeca, even though, man, I screwed that up. I'll talk to you guys later. Keep it alive. JVS, we gonna stop. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Peace, people.
Falling off the top of